currently picking up a load out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, going a total of 14 miles back over to Crest Hill with a total payout of $204, $14.94 per mile. And I arrived here about an hour and 15 minutes ahead of schedule. And we all know Amazon is not allowing us to load more than 30 minutes before our standard arrival time. So I figured this would be a great time to go through a list of all of the changes that we've seen in 2024 pertaining to Amazon Relay. One of the first changes involves the booking of team driver loads and pertains more specifically to the semi-truck drivers. One of the issues that Amazon has been encountering and also picking up on is semi-truck drivers who bobtail in and pull Amazon Relay trailers, and they book team driver loads and then they run them single-handedly, which raises a bunch of DOT concerns. So as I stated, Amazon has been picking up on this issue, and they're now cracking down and more heavily implementing the photo recognition process. Now when you ride into an Amazon Relay lot, immediately you're prompted to pass photo verification. Photo verification used to be a selfie that you took and it was uploaded and then you were done. Now photo verification is more in-depth and involves the process of photo recognition, where they actually do a facial scan and then compare them to other facial scans that you've taken in the past to make sure that's actually you running a particular load that's been booked. So a lot of this is coming due to semi-truck drivers booking team driver loads single-handedly. Amazon has also recently placed a limit on in-trip driver swaps. You used to be able to swap drivers while running a trip as many times as you like. Now, you're able to swap drivers as many times as you like before the actual trip has started. Once you start the actual trip, it's a limit to, I believe, 3 in-trip driver swaps, where you can swap one driver out for another. Once you hit that limit, you will be restricted from swapping drivers while running that particular load. Before you actually begin the load, you're able to once again swap drivers as much as you like. But once you begin that trip, you are not going to be allowed to swap drivers more than 3 times while running that load. And this is something that Amazon has implemented as well, due to individuals picking up a load and then handing it off to another individual and having them complete it. So you'll have one driver in the Amazon, badge in, load the truck, seal everything up, check out, and then another driver will meet them somewhere in the vicinity and complete the trip, probably because they're banned from Amazon, or at least not allowed entry. So Amazon has picked up on this, and they're limiting in-trip driver swaps due to these issues. The next big change that Amazon Relay has made pertains to your performance score, which in the Relay app is now referred to as your scorecard. And within your scorecard, there is a safety tab. Within this safety tab, Amazon regularly monitors your FMCSA safety rating, which needs to be satisfactory or unrated. Unsafe driving and hours of service compliance needs to be 60% or below. Vehicle maintenance, controlled substance, and driver fitness needs to be at 75% or below. Any FMCSA infraction that you receive will reset every 2 years. So if you receive one today, December 2nd, that would fall off December 2nd of 2026. So it's a 2-year rolling time frame. To fully reset the performance score feature on your scorecard, you need to successfully run 6 to 10 lows within a 6-week time frame. There are also performance score requirements in order to access the Relay Load Board AI Assistant, which allows you to negotiate with Amazon Relay pertaining to particular loads on the Spot Relay Load Board. So in order to negotiate with the Relay AI Load Board Assistant, your performance score needs to be a 96% or above for Amazon to even negotiate with you, which in my opinion is a great addition to the Relay Load Board. And what I've noticed is they negotiate with you behind the scenes, so other carriers are not allowed to see what the actual load was booked for. So you won't see an average going rate because you book it personally on the Relay Load Board app. I've just done it yesterday where I negotiated up from about $440 to $500, and then they gave me a book button within the negotiation window where it never appeared on the Spot Relay Load Board. It just disappeared at whatever rate was last posted there. But I got a rate of $500 for that particular run. So in my opinion, the AI feature is a great feature to utilize if you can keep your performance score at a 96% or above. And I could be slightly off on that, but I was recently at a 93 point some odd percent, and I had no access to the Relay Load Board Assistant. But once I went ahead and got my score up above a 97%, then I was able to go ahead and negotiate with the Load Board Assistant within the app. The next change pertains to Amazon Relay account ownership changes. As we all know, over the course of the last few years, you've seen multiple different individuals in Facebook groups and so forth attempting to swap out or sell their Amazon Relay accounts. Well, Amazon has caught on to this as well, and Amazon recently notified all of the carriers that you must obtain written consent 30 days prior to any Amazon Relay account ownership changes. So they're requiring you to contact them, notify them that you plan to change ownership of your Relay account, and wait for written consent to do so. They're also going to want to know both parties involved and so forth. So this is another measure in order for Amazon to know who's running their freight and maintaining ownership of these Relay Load Board accounts. So if you wish to sell your Relay Load Board account, just make sure 30 days in advance you notify Amazon of your intent to do so and wait for written consent. From what Amazon is saying, any changes in ownership of your Relay account that is not authorized by them will likely result in termination of that Relay Load Board account. This is something for sellers and buyers to think about. If you sell it, you're going to have a buyer coming back to you because Amazon, once they figure out you sold it to somebody who they didn't consent, they're going to terminate that account. And then 9 times out of 10, the individual you sold to is going to want their money back. As I stated, this is something for the buyers and the sellers to think about. Don't sell an Amazon Relay account without consent, and don't buy an Amazon Relay account without consent. Another change or issue whatever you want to call it, pertains to swapping out your financial institution that's connected to your Relay Load Board account. Individuals who change business financial institutions for whatever reason, for some reason, end up having their pay withheld, sometimes for an indefinite amount of time. And most individuals don't figure this out until they've already made the mistake of swapping financial institutions, at which time it's already too late. And then Amazon withholds their pay, even though they're still running and completing loads, and they're accumulating a gross. So they won't just go and start disbursing your settlements into a new account right away. I've heard of individuals waiting 2 to 3 months in order to get that financial institution changed. So for whatever reason, you may run into issues where you need to change financial institutions. You want to maybe contact your performance manager and figure out what's the best way to do so. The worst thing that can happen is you end up not receiving your pay due to switching financial institutions. If you didn't have a major issue with the particular financial institution that you already had, 9 times out of 10, you would be better off remaining with them. That way you can receive your pay until further notice. Another change that's been implemented is that weather and traffic performance related issues have been automated and are not disputable. According to Amazon, the app is supposed to pick up severe weather events and heavy traffic situations and adjust your performance score at the end of the week accordingly. So you are no longer able to go in and use weather or traffic as a performance related issue. The app should automatically pick that up at the end of your trip. They've also removed the previous Amazon Stop feature, which was another option or excuse for an performance related issue. You used to be able to go into the app and tell the app, well, my last stop ran over and I didn't depart on time, so I was late to my preceding stop due to a issue with my previous drop. So ultimately, traffic, weather, and previous Amazon Stop have been removed as options that you can use for performance related issues. And finally, one of the most recent changes, which is actually not a change and has been a rule since I began running Relay at least 3 years ago: urination on postal facility or Amazon fulfillment properties. We recently got a notice that a particular DDU or a postal facility was complaining that multiple carriers, not just one, had been urinating on the postal property frequently. And from what they were saying, the behavior was stopped for a few days and then returned. So the postmaster began to complain to Amazon, and Amazon then in return notified the carriers, which this has been a rule from day one, that if you urinate on Amazon's property or USPS property, you will be banned from running Amazon Relay loads and your Amazon Relay account will be terminated. And this has been a rule since day one, similar to speeding in the lot and safety infractions. But for some reason, individuals have continued to exhibit this behavior. So it's come to the forefront here recently in the last few months, and Amazon has began cracking down on carriers and drivers who urinate on the property. I would advise individuals to keep a large bottle of their choice in their truck. similar to what a lot of truckers do. And it may not be the most ideal situation, but it's a lot more sanitary than urinating on public property. I would just keep a bottle in the truck, even if you have to just stand between the door and the inside of the truck. Do whatever you got to do in the bottle and be done with it. But to constantly urinate on public property, understanding that urine emits a odor, I would try to avoid doing that. And it seems kind of needless of me to say, but I really need to say it. So there you have it, a full list of all of the Amazon Relay changes here in 2024 leading into 2025. And in the next couple months, I'll be doing another one of these, because I'm sure there will be a series of more changes coming up first quarter next year. So with that being said, as usual, you guys stay safe out there. Take it easy and have a good one. Appreciate you.